Good evening and welcome back to the Dwarven Fortress of Keskalokil, where I haven't actually closed the dialogue box I used for the announcement of the stream on Mastodon. So last session I tried to improve the happiness of some of my people and failed utterly, and we've reached the point now where 19 of my dwarves are seriously unhappy. Actually, something I should have looked up was, let me look this up now, not that you can see me doing this, but was whether I had configured my the squad for improving the happiness of dwarves correctly. So let's, was it that one? Don't think so, unless that was very recently. Also, core memories doesn't mean that. Okay, maybe there's a different page I should be looking at. Maybe it was depression. No, that doesn't help. Okay, well, it may turn out that I can't actually find the thing that I was remembering, and therefore we'll have to... obviously, I could read the... stress, that's the page I want, isn't it? Yes. Right. Signed to train all year round, right. Not to, but without any barracks assigned. That's the trick. Right, let's go. Seb says, let the sea in and turn everything into a waterfall. Yes, we do have some nice autumnal tones. They're mostly poisonous. Oh no, actually that one's marcasite. Oh, that one. Oh right, those are just muddy, I think, or blood-stained. Either that's marcasite, which I'm pretty sure is white, but it's stained with so much so much ale and blood. That variegated autumnal tones of death. Yes, that's the natural colour of marcasite, which is white. The yellows, at least, are just bare gypsum, and that bit's cinnabar, which is like genuinely orange, if poisonously orange. Right. No, they appear to be, as far as we can tell, immune to mercury poisoning. Right, we should probably dispose of these desert tortoise people's corpses. I'm pretty sure they're sentient enough that the dwarves will refuse to butcher them. And we're not trying to scare them off in the way that we're trying to scare off the goblins, so I don't think we need to put their heads on pedestals. I am now wondering whether I presume desert tortoise people have shells. But since they're sentient, we won't carve anything interesting out of their shells either. Right. So yes, it turns out that what I had done wrong was to set the lardy larks to no special orders. And what I should actually do is set them to constant training. But I think... Still no special orders because the orders are separate from the routine. Because they have no special orders, but their routine order is constant training now. And then... So down here we have a barracks, which is where most people train. Right, and that only has 2 squads assigned to it. We should correct that. It should have all of the squads apart from the lardy larks. Really. Everyone should be allowed to train there, other than the lardy larks. And since I don't think there's much point in storing stuff there, but right. That might help with the training of the other groups as well. Yes, I did name the lardy larks last time. Basically, I scrolled through the list of words and spotted lardy and lark next to one another, or some such. I'm now going, why would they have been in the same list? thus decided that that was an excellent name for our squad that doesn't actually do anything and just has fun, or at least fulfills its needs more accurately, I hope. So the hope now is that the people close to the top of the list will already be members of the Larks. So possibly they're not. It looks like Moldath near Mekba, for instance, isn't. Also, they're up a tree. That's always a dangerous place for a dwarf to be.
No tree flying dwarves here.
Yes, you're dehydrated and up a tree.
Don't be up a tree. Is this fortress's safety advice similar to don't be on fire?
Yes. There's a stepladder there. There is a stepladder vertically below our dehydrated dwarf.
Falling down.
No, I haven't even forbidden it. Like, I was planning to forbid a bunch of stepladders in the hope that that would stop them being moved. But in this case, yes, that doesn't seem to be... So they are in a... Okay, the slightly more alarming thing is they appear to be in a square which doesn't even have any tree branches in it. Presumably they're just like clinging on to the neighbouring tree branches or something. Well, let's build a staircase up to them. Let's build it up to there so it also connects to the tree itself. No, not mining.
Is it possible that the step ladder doesn't reach quite high enough to climb down to or something?
Possibly. But there's nothing above them either, so they can't be clinging on to that. Dizzy suggests maybe they're floating in midair due to a gravitational failure.
Not clinging onto a branch.
Well, I mean, I think they're actually holding on to something that's in the next square. So you should now be in the correct, might now be in the correct mode. But we'll see. Let's just check this. So the squad listing explicitly does not have the Lardy Larks set. Which is slightly... Right, so Sibrek, Ebb Thingamy, just check that they're not there. Yes, so what are you doing? There do seem to be two quite unhappy people, two quite unhappy people in there. But not so unhappy. I think everything from yellow downwards gets you a downward orange arrow. And we're only really concerned at the moment with the most unhappy people. What are you doing? Oh, you're hauling an agitated giant cardinal corpse back in the hope that we can get something useful out of it. That appears to be mostly... Right, yes, that was someone successfully killing the... I think that said giant cardinal. We've got a lot of masterwork mittens. Excellent. We like masterwork mittens. Food storage items should get sorted. I think our patrolling military dwarves are doing pretty well at keeping the local wildlife from attacking anyone soft. So that's nice. Yeah, we'll have a staircase for you shortly. So so that's Toulon and Ushrir. Yes, you're attending a meeting. Well, that's probably reasonable. Soldier brackets no activity is not the ideal thing, but maybe now that you... Oh, hang on. No, yes. Yes, they're set to constant training, which might work. We'll see. Right, so the first step of that staircase is built, but that's probably not enough to allow someone to climb down it. Oh, we should check up on what's going on here. So, is that just a giant cardinal fighting a buzzard? Yes. What's going on here? It does have a butcher job scheduled. Probably buzzards are too small to be butchered, but like while there are butcher jobs being scheduled, still we'll leave them. At least till they rot. Don't worry, someone will be along to finish building your staircase shortly. You're still stuck in soldier brackets no activity rather than like going off and fulfilling your needs. Well, we won't worry about that for now. Let's add more people to the Lardy Larks who need to be in there. So you, for instance, seem to be quite unhappy. Well, currently in Splatter the Lyrical Seas, Udil Lazfeb, but it's more important to make you happy. Udil. And so presumably you will shortly become the right kind of military dwarf. You're already a militia captain. Well, maybe we're going to have to fire you. Let's not do that. Moldath needs to get out of the tree, but I suppose we may as well put them into that squad. Okay, that didn't work quite right. Let's try that again. I want to click there, don't I? Yes, that's it. Right, now here comes someone to... that's just some perfectly ordinary fighting going on in the thing, and we're making more thing. Someone is coming along to now build that bit of staircase, which I hope will let this poor dwarf out of the tree. Right, can you get down from the tree now? Yes, excellent. Right. I hope... Oh, that's confusing. They've ceased being marked as hungry and thirsty now. I was slightly wondering if they were going to go to sleep and then die of... Oh, did they find some food on getting to the ground or something? Or maybe someone brought them some. Anyway, I probably don't need to carefully watch them going all the way to their bedroom. which involves a certain amount of ludicrous route finding, it would appear. Ah. Blissful after sleeping in a bedroom like a personal palace. Well, that might help. Unconscious but no longer drowsy. Probably don't need to follow someone who's asleep. Right. Oops. An axe lord is fighting a giant cardinal. What is your lalva box that you're repeatedly striking this giant cardinal in the head with? May I ask? You're beating a cardinal to death with your shield because you've come out on patrol equipped solely in a steel helm and a shield. Have you thought...
Berserker aspect of the dwarves.
Yes, but it'd be quite nice if what they came out with was, say, an axe and a helm, rather than...
Are they wearing clothes?
No, they're only wearing just a helm and a shield.
They're berserkers. Next question.
And if they're wearing one actually armoured item, that's better than some.
2. Shield and a helm.
Yes, but they're using the shield as a weapon.
Yes.
See, I think the actual kill went to a passing spearmaster who, like, sensibly turned up with something sharp. At least she has an Ungalax Solon that she can use to stab things with. So it's probably a spear.
Is this an artifact named spear?
I don't think it's an artifact one. It's just that that military types do tend to name things sometimes.
Ah, this is Arthur and his spear called Ron.
Yes. In this case, it's called Ungalax Solon. This, at least, is someone who has actually turned up in adequate armour.
If you wish to learn more about Arthur and his spear called Ron, go and read Historia Bretonum by Geoffrey of Monmouth. Or don't, it's weird.
So what are you doing by way of picking up equipment when you're in a squad that should have no... I presume that was like your... Oh, right, you decided you nonetheless need a water skin. Yes, okay. Just in case you're called upon to, like, actually do something. Which you won't be. Surely do you not count... Does that not count as having acquired an object? Bah. So where are you going then? You are apparently soldiering with no activity, and I'm like just wondering what you do in that time, and it appears to involve wandering around, which, like, is not the worst thing to be doing, to be fair.
There is no combat without movement.
Yes, that's true. You're reading something. Excellent. That will probably be good for you. Sorry, I've just realised I'm way out of date on IRC and should catch up. Does this say anything interesting?
Don't think there's been dwarf.
Seems to be mostly about chocolate. Right. Still, reading a book. Oh, relieved remembering being near a waterfall. That's good. But it would be great if you could like enjoy reading that book.
No.
Well, maybe people only enjoy finishing reading a book.
That moment when you find out who'd done it is the only satisfying part.
Yes. And like reading a book is definitely likely to be a useful thing to be doing. Others appear still to be storing items, which is not very helpful. Still, who do we not have in? Who do we have at the head of this list? We have Momus Avers Lular, whom I'm going to ignore for now because I would need to at least slightly understand what's going to happen if I remove them from their existing squad. Moldath we've dealt with. So Thob should probably be shuffled into here as well. No, not that one. Okay, apparently I can't do that if I've got the other thing open because while this may look like a GUI toolkit has been involved somewhere, it was some Thob Z, wasn't it? Yes. Actually, it does still have some really weird bugs. Like sometimes, like where the keyboard focus is not very clear always. Sibrek is already in there. Ral is already in there. Domas is not. So Domas, Tolung Logem. We only have one Domas in the fortress, right? So that will then. That's everyone who isn't already a militia commander, and thus I'm bit dubious about removing them from their current squad, or a child who can't join the military.
I'm glad that children can't join the military.
Who is now in the Lardy Larks, and hence might be capable of cheering up a bit. We'll see. Oh, Seb notes, yes, down to 17. That's nice. Possibly the dwarf who was stuck in the tree has managed to cheer up. I can't remember who that was now. But I did just stick them into this squad, so they were they Moldath? Yes, no, they're still unhappy. Indeed, yes, that's obviously someone who gets stuck in a tree because they're in the collecting stuff work detail.
Which apparently involves getting stuck in trees.
Well, they're in the collecting fruit from trees work detail,
Yes,
which obviously involves going up trees.
yes, but then they appear to be like cats and get stuck there.
Now they're putting a backpack back somewhere. And now they're hauling a steel mail shirt somewhere else. Well, I'm sure it'll help. Oh, because I took them out, might have taken them out of some other squad, and so now they're putting all their old armour away. Hopefully, if they're then going to put their other armour away, it will all be in this same stockpile, and so it won't take very long. Oh, apart from weapons, which go somewhere completely different. Oh dear, there's something rotting down there. There shouldn't be something rotting there. It's a stockpile. Things shouldn't rot in stockpiles. What's going on? Someone managed to put something in the wrong place or something. Ah, there's a rotten, agitated giant leopard gecko mangled corpse that was presumably being hauled upstairs, but now that it's rotten, it's not useful anymore.
Rotten, agitated giant. That adjective order thing, I think, is turning over in its grave.
Well, I mean, I think it has to be that way round here because the kind of creature is a giant leopard gecko.
Yes.
Um,
And even the agitatedness is somehow preserved in the corpse.
yes, that's just wrong. Like, once it's dead, it can't be agitated anymore.
I mean, it might be that dying while agitated makes the meat no good, but
And now we have great horned owls that are being troublesome. I kind of suspect that a single toe of a even the most giant of giant cardinals is not actually going to be worth butchering. Anyway, we were trying to build a system for pumping, for generating mist here, weren't we? So that's going to be pumping from there, yes, to there, which means we then need a hole in the floor there, i.e. above that pump's output. We also need a hole there to power it, as I recall, because pump stacks have alternating hole and not hole. Then we should probably construct a wall around the surface pump, so it's a bit harder for creatures to get into the fortress through it. Let's just make it. We've got lots of siltstone blocks, as I recall. Maybe we shouldn't put all of them in because we're going to need to actually be able to construct the pump. We have created a masterpiece, prepared giant blue jay brain roast. I think at that point you could also remove the word prepared from it. Like, it's been roasted. The fact that you, like, extracted it from the head of the giant blue jay is, like, in the past now. Right, there isn't another task to butcher anything, so I think we can assume that everything remaining here is too small to be worth it. Or a feather, which is like already butchered. So we can dispose of the buzzards and the toe. Oh dear, we've got more giant thripses. Oh, but the giant thripses are currently mostly fighting with the great horned owl. Right, that's fine. Like, you might want to consider, my dear wildlife, whether the giant great horned owl is actually your enemy, or whether perhaps the dwarves who keep cutting down the trees might be more of your problem. That's a rotten corpse, so that should be disposed of as well before it starts stinking the place up. Right, how are those guys looking at like doing anything? Well, someone is reading lots. That's probably helpful. Yes, that's providing wonder and interest at least, which is not the best thing, but right. So we now have the holes in the floor up there. So this pump wants to actually pump from the south, but I suspect it needs to be configured to pump from the north because I think that's still backwards in the configuration in the thing. And we want it there. Select material just in case. Oh, go on, we'll use an olivine block and an enormous copper corkscrew and a copper pipe. That is underway. We should probably put a grate over its input. Build construction grate there. And then we need an output from it, which will be there. Oops. Directly over the grate in the corridor, which means we also need some more wall.
Just for time, I'm saying so does that, which ain't got in the way. Your comment also sounded like that's true.
So let's see what things are looking like now. Yeah, they still don't seem to be doing very helpful activities, these quasi-military dwarves. What are those? They're just stray ganders, that's fine. Right, the giant thrips is actually on the surface. Does appear to be a dead dog there as well. Well, dispose of that then. That's fine. I'm pretty sure we bought everything we want from them. And we want to put in another grate there. That is a masterwork grate, isn't it? I have at least not got that wrong. Yes. you seem to be doing all right. You're getting a lot of wonder and interest from reading books, at least. Then we should probably also construct a ramp so that we can get onto the top of this building and put a roof on it, at least for the most part. So that we can then stick a thing, windmill up there to power these pumps. Actually, let's install another grate there. This will be a masterwork one since we've got some spare. Okay, people are actually getting into serious fights with these giant thripses. Oh, that might turn out usefully, who knows.
I'm puzzled by this square glyph here, is there?
Oh yes, Simon, you missed the ludicrous pluralising platypus that Pink Beast found earlier today.
You're curious about this? These ones? Well, I mean, I can tell you that they're nest boxes.
I don't recognise it as a
I think
437.
I think it's an inverse video bullet or something bizarre like that.
I thought that, but it's clearly not done the whole character cell.
No, it's not. It's not an inverse video bullet. It's a character that is inverse video bullet. I think. Sibrek Thingamy has slipped into depression despite being in the Lardy Larks. Well, that hasn't worked very well, has it? Actually, you're quite a long way up the list. Also, you're reading as well. Excellent. I'm reasonably hopeful that reading will turn out to be good for people.
Oh yes, it's in the C0 section of Code 437 where only the full party look.
Right, so now we've got that. We're still waiting for someone to build the screw pump itself. So meanwhile, we should put a roof up here, at least somewhat. Where's the building gone? Oh no, there it is. It's brown. That's confusing. Right, so we can put a roof over back to there at the very least. We do need a hole which wants to be not over the open space, so it wants to be there. So we can build 2 more bits of floor. Then we want a gap, and then another bit of floor there. appears that Claire is keeping track of my numbers and thinks that there is some improvement in overall happiness going on. Oh right, yes, you're hauling parts of the pump. Good. Right, so now the dwarves are putting a roof on the pump house. Oh dear, something's rotting. Let's dispose of that. I mean, that's not actually the thing that's rotting, but it will rot soon. Ditto that. You can't butcher a buzzard's foot. That one apparently just didn't manage to make it in time. So we're going to want to fill this thing with this mist generator with water. So I think what we want to do is to mark a pit/pond around there. We don't want to put people in it, we want to fill it with water. Right.
For some reason my brain just thought the pit and pendulum.
And I also don't want to encourage anyone to put anything in, any creatures in there, but yes, all those bits are scheduled for dumping. That's all good. Merchants going, that's fine. We bought at least some useful stuff from them. Aha! Someone is praying. That's good. That's an activity that will probably make you happier. You've also you're feeling fondness after interacting with a pet. That's nice. If you could find yourself a family, that would be even better.
I'm glad people are made happy by praying in this universe. I'm reminded of C.S. Lewis, I think, who said something along the lines of, talk to me about the truth of religion and I'll listen gladly. Talk about the obligations of religion and I'll listen dutifully. But don't talk to me about the consolations of religion or I shall start to suspect you don't understand.
Right, I think we can now safely wall in that screw pump, and then we can stick a windmill on top of it and discover it's all backwards, because that's what usually happens.
Unscrewed itself by accident.
Yes, it will indeed unscrew itself. You're busy punching a agitated giant thrips. It does take a long time to lug a rotten giant cardinal corpse to somewhere where you can dispose of it. Buzzards still not usable. Feathers still completely useless. Hang on, that didn't work. Thank you. Can I also make them a lava lamp? I don't think I can construct lava lamps. Right, beginnings of filling up this mist generator with water. It has 2 units of water in it. It'll need a bit more than that before anything is going to work properly, but that's fine. We haven't finished building it yet. So now we would like a windmill on top. No access to 4 logs. Have we really managed to run out of wood again? Oh dear. Right, let's find a tree that we don't want. Oh, there was a maple there. Maples are useless. Oaks are not quite useless. You can get acorns off them and you can eat acorns if you really want to.
I continue to be appalled by the good housekeeping cookbook's attitude towards garlic, which is yes,
Is it in the fridge marinated?
yes, which is that it should only be used in homeopathic quantities. It's just
Is it
two
really
cloves
across the
of
right, do you think? Two bulbs of garlic.
I use one bulb. But I didn't know who asked me these questions. It's complicated. I haven't looked at him. I was busy faffing with meat because it's hot. It was quite stressful.
Right. Someone is coming along to cut down that tree, which might give me enough wood to... I think I should keep cutting down trees. I already scheduled that maple. No. Those trees are probably a bit close together. We should probably thin them a little.
Yes, I think you have enough stuff.
That will get us a bit more wood at least. Where the trees are very close together, I suspect they will grow better if we can not have them into quite such dense clumps. Right. That should give us a bit more. Is there anything? Well, I mean, they are doing at least some useful things, or some things that they should find useful. Back down to 17 again. Come on, come and cut that tree down. Presume this is the dwarf coming to cut the tree down. And then we might actually have enough wood to build a windmill to drive the mist generator to cheer the dwarves up. Bink, there goes a tree. There's adequate alder logs. There. Is that because they're all already scheduled to be moved and not therefore in a stockpile? Possibly, yes. And without unpausing, we will build that. We will try rebuilding that windmill. 4. I can't count. Hurrah! Right. Oh, are we short of coke? Or have we just screwed up the location of things again? We've got plenty of steel. I should make some more good weapons and armour. It does rather look like we might have run out of coke entirely. That's embarrassing. Right, that probably means we've run out of coal to turn into coke, because I've been paying attention to the surface and not to finding coal resources. So let us mark this bituminous coal in the drainage system as needing mining, and indeed that bit, but that's damp, so it may be a bit tedious to mine that. But we'll see what we can do. So we're still making cloaks and hoods, and like I did have an arrangement whereby that should only happen as long as there's a shortage of them, which is like mildly surprising. But yes, we still have too few spare cloaks and too few spare hoods, apparently. At least some people have adequate cloaks and hoods. We should probably stop filling this thing with water soon, because it's getting reasonably well supplied and we don't want to overfill it. "16 unhappy dwarves, hooray!" "16 maximally unhappy dwarves."
16 unhappy dwarves.
just going is, let's not worry about it for now. We'll take people out of this squad once it fills up and we actually need the space for someone else. Yeah, occasional tantrums from the children are still to be expected, but they'll grow up eventually and then they won't be a problem. Just seeing if I should butcher anyone else. Yeah, you're 10 years old, you should be butchered. Possibly the stray dogs should be as well, if they're similarly aged, yes. That way, like, we can actually make use of them. We're short of ash, which is probably because we're short of felled trees, but that's getting fixed. That's an entire, skeleton. Well, maybe that skeleton will get moved into the fortress so that we can convert it into disarticulated bones. Don't think a peregrine falcon beak is going to be of any use. It's a skeleton, so it might be helpful. Buzzard's wing is of no use.
Agitated giant cardinal is clearly a topic insect, really.
Is there something rotting in? That's some chitin. We can't use chitin. Or feathers or nervous tissue. All right, yes, there's something that's rotting. Like the skeleton, I think we can then dismantle into its constituent bones and then carve them into bracelets. No, we make totems out of skulls.
I think you had a very large number of skulls or something tiny.
Yes. But no, bracelets we make out of bones. We make I can't remember now, something like earrings out of horn, and something else out of some other material you get out of animals.
But when you say bones, that is some classification that doesn't consider the skull to be one.
No, indeed, skulls are special. Right, so we're getting at least some coal from this seam, but we will probably need, there's some more lignite there. Well, let's mark that for mining as well. There's a bit of a problem that it's wet here, so this might cause a bit of flooding. Probably not enough to be a serious problem. I'm in the wrong mode. That's why the magic auto mining is completely failing to auto mine magically. I mean, also there's the fact that it's wet. And this is in general problematic. This is fairly manual mining owing to the amount of water around. You can see the emergency charcoal making order has come into effect in order to rebootstrap our coke production. We've struck white jade apparently, yes, so we have. In addition to quite a lot of coal. Oh, and the coal carries on beyond the jade, excellent. At least a little bit. Right, so that's the whole of the lignite in the south area dealt with. There's lots of complaints about not having enough refined coal. Well, we are working on that. Someone has left their trousers behind. Presume someone will be coming along eventually to do that last little bit of mining, or possibly quite a big bit of mining. Who knows how much further that vein runs. All right, similarly we have some lignite here we could dig out. And some bituminous coal there if we can get at it. It's going to be a bit tedious shifting this stuff, but right, we are probably going to need all the coal we can lay our hands on, even if it is in inconvenient places. And inconveniently wet. I think our militia commander has entered a martial trance fighting a giant fly, but I'm not sure. Right, that's all that batch of slaughterings done. Appears to be a bituminous coal seam locked up behind a wall, presumably on the grounds that if I knock down that wall, all of the water will flow out of it. And oh, you have there's clearly an unhappy cat. We have cat pus wandering around the place. As long as we can keep it out of the soap farm. I did deliberately start allowing water to leak into this staircase on the grounds that a little bit of water running down staircases means they turn into waterfalls, which cheers up people using them. Though, of course, once we actually have a production mist generator, that may be less necessary. On which subject, we have a working mist generator, I think. If only it would generate some mist.
This is obviously some strange new usage of the word working.
Well, I mean, it's moving. Oh, there's some mist, yes. Mist. Oops.
Missed again.
Kind of hoping I can now find someone who's going to be cheered by this mist. Yes, content being near a waterfall. Right, good. The mist generator's working properly. How's it off for like amount of water in it? I think we can allow the dwarves to put a bit more water into it. But we don't want so much water in there that it starts flooding. Right, let's have a quick run through what's in this area, because quite a bit of it probably isn't usable. Indeed, all of it is unusable. Right, well, in a shocking state of affairs, I think we'll turn off the moving of buckets of water. I seem to have done a piece of hydraulic engineering that worked first time and hasn't killed anyone. So I will now suspend the mist generator filling procedure, because I think it's more or less adequately full. It will probably need occasional topping up because some of its squares are occasionally at depth 1, which might sometimes evaporate. But like that's helpful and might cheer people up. So back to the coal mining. We might have mined enough actually, but well, obviously it's not going to ultimately be enough. We're going to eventually run out of coal. One day we will have to find magma. Silver battle axe is a terrible idea. Well, yeah, it might be useful on werewolves, but it's not useful on anything else. Right, I think we should remove some of this wall so that we can mine the coal behind it, even though that will let a load more water down this staircase. Possibly we do need to be a little bit cautious about the amount of water coming down here so that it doesn't end up actually flooding that farm. Possibly we need like some guttering or something. Good, someone has got a pet, that will probably make them happy. So I'm now mostly fairly tediously tagging damp bits of coal for mining. Right, so that's now been opened and we can start mining that as well. Once all of the coal has been removed from one of these damp seams, I would probably be well advised to seal it off again to keep from causing too much flooding. But for now, I think a bit of flooding is acceptable. I want to be a bit careful here that we don't accidentally penetrate the caverns. Right, that's the end of that. That's the end of that. So there's only that end there of this lignite seam. And they've now got distracted by something else. I need to be, as I said, a bit careful around here because the bituminous coal down here does actually connect up to the caverns, but it looks like this seam itself doesn't, unless it goes like curves round. So that's probably all right. It's actually brown jasper. And that seam is even dry. So that will be nice and easy. I can just watch it being mined, except that I'm worried that it will touch the caverns and I'll need to hurriedly cancel a bunch of mining orders. And if it doesn't, then I obviously need to find this seam and mine it up to the edge of the cavern. It's heading north again now. Right, let's start doing this by hand. Does that work correctly, or do those then get designated for automatic mining? Oh, it looks like that might work correctly. As in, things that are already designated for mining don't get converted into being designated for auto mining just because something next to them is auto mined. Right, so we could then also go and find the edge, oops, wrong mode, of that lignite seam. And indeed there's some gems there, let's head up and collect those. So where are you off to mine now? Not sure. Maybe you're just going off to drink, who knows. Oh no, they're coming back. Good. That's quite a lot of bituminous coal there, isn't it? We've got quite a high yield from that section. Right, so okay, so that bit of the lignite seam doesn't extend this way. The rose quartz we could. Actually, I think we want an ordinary mining that way. Well, doesn't really matter. Right, so then that one can be auto-mined outwards. Only there's nothing there to mine. Right. Meanwhile, someone's coming along to deal with this, and then we can tag the remainder of that seam for auto-mining as well. Because that's now safe, in that we can't accidentally penetrate the cavern with that because it's been isolated from the cavern. Hurrah! Oh, that's blue jade. That's probably worth having, isn't it? any other coal on this level that I can easily find. Obviously, there's almost undoubtedly lots of coal that we simply haven't, let's mind that turquoise, even found yet. But coal that we have found is obviously easier to mine than coal that we haven't yet found. Oh yes, there's at least a little bit of extra jade there, not much it looks like though. One square that we managed to find. Oh well, better than nothing. Yes, these are quite wet mines. Oh, there's still some there that we can mine out. Haven't quite finished this one yet. Well, as the coal is removed from them, we can seal them off again, like you could stick a wall in there. That's going to be necessary eventually. And then once that piece of lignite's been removed, we can down to 14 maximally unhappy dwarves. I think this may actually be working. Maybe. It may just be that that unhappy dwarves are not doing any actual work, and that's improving matters. Right, so I think now I need to check whether any of these have cheered up enough. Well, we can put one more person in. We can put, say, Litas Stetadkol into position 10. Proud after teaching machinery, so that's at least slightly helpful. Relieved remembering being near to a waterfall. Right, so you can probably safely be replaced with, there was someone who was at the red level who wasn't yet in there. I think Erush Lilas Sazir. Right. So all being well, that will cause further cheerings. Right, back to the coal mining. Right, that one is still not quite complete. So I think we have done everything we can do on that layer though. Here I think we've already cleared out the coal, yes. At least the coal that we know about. There's probably a limit to how deep it's worth going for coal at this stage. So we may now have mostly exhausted what we can actually find That's tetrahedrite. It's the same colour, but it's not actually nearly as useful. So that mine still has some hematite available, but on the other hand, yeah, we don't need that to be dumping water into so much water into our drainage system. If we need the hematite, we can open it up again. So let's just wall off most of that. To reduce the amount of water we get coming out. Right, this isn't about keeping things completely dry, but we may as well not have water coming in that we don't need. So I suppose there's an argument that if we wall it in, then we have the problem that when we come to undo it, there will be a sudden rush of water that might lead to embarrassing drowning incidents as dwarves get swept off into the drainage system. Right. Well, aside from a small amount of gems, that's that section cleared of or fully mined. There's still some bituminous coal there. But yeah, that's going. Oh, so much stuff going on. Oh, we got a dwarf suspended construction of wall message. That's not encouraging. May as well dig out that smoky quartz while we're there. That wall got successfully constructed though, that's good. Possibly the walls were briefly underwater. There's still, I was going to say there's still lots of stuff there waiting to be butchered, but at least some of it is actually being butchered, which is nice. Maybe that owl skeleton will be helpful, who knows. Other stuff can be disposed of though. Euphoria and contentment. Felt satisfied remembering improving pressing. Something like that, yes. I think that giant horned owl skeleton is not sufficiently full of bones for us to use it for anything. Sorry, great horned owl skeleton. If it were a giant horned owl, it might be rather different. Or indeed a giant great horned owl.
Rightly, a horned owl doesn't actually have horns, does it?
No.
Just
One of those walls has been put in at least. Check, is the other one suspended again? Yes. Oh, there's more gems there, aren't there? They're quite hard to see because they're the same colour as the sandstone, but they do actually exist. As indeed, there's a bit more rather moist bituminous coal here. I think that's actually wet because the next layer up is a an aquifer. That's just tetrahedrite there, isn't it? Yes. Oh, there is still some bituminous coal there, albeit damp. Yeah, I think we've probably mined enough coal for now. Have a quick look around at other bits of places that we can see. See if we can spot any. So there, that's some lignite, maybe not much, and it's quite a long way off. Oh, there's some. It doesn't look. Right, yes, I think there is some dampness going on around there. We probably want to be a bit careful this deep because water. I mean, I think I do actually have drainage at the bottom of this staircase, don't I? So, isn't necessarily fatal for water to come down it, but it is horizontal drainage, which means there's a small danger of sweeping dwarves out of it. "13. Probably now mostly children, whom we don't really have a good way to cheer up. Right, what else is going on? Let's just have a look around. Dispose of fly chitin. There's an entire corpse and so can probably be butchered. Right, so what else should I be doing? I mean, possibly going to bed quite soon, since the Operation Cheer Up the Dwarves has actually been vaguely successful. One other thing, it did seem that we had a lot of steel available. Oh, this is reaching the point where we're flooding the fields. I mean, in theory, we could wall off all of this and have have it all be collected by people coming up through the drainage system, but that seems like an unwise approach. I think I should probably stop digging at this point, and so that we can use some of this stuff, and thus, oh dear, we found another giant leopard gecko. They're terrible things. Ah, right, okay, it looks like someone has started chopping up the giant leopard gecko, so that's probably okay. Yes. One very dead giant leopard gecko. Quite a lot of very dead giant flies. Probably no actual giant dead dodongos. Oh dear. Oh, were you sob thingamy? Yes, okay, you got killed by a giant leopard gecko, I think.
It probably doesn't count as successfully cheering up the dwarves if the extra unhappy ones happen to get unlucky with combat.
Well, I will observe that the Lardy Lark still has 10 members, so that wasn't someone I was trying to cheer up by that route. You say you're socialising. I would observe that you're standing in an empty room with a kitten, which I suppose is technically socialising in a way. The kitten has now left.
They do that.
I would suggest you might be able to more successfully socialise if you went somewhere where there were any more people. Okay, that's a little more alarming. That second one there. I thought at first it was our standard problem. No, that's not interrupted by a giant leopard gecko. That's an actual leopard. Apparently. Though I can't see it. Gorlak, chase swallow, adder, and 53 zillion live honeybees.
Well, you've got the person's name.
Well, I did have.
Is it possible the leopard sort of poked its head on the side of the map and then...
Possibly. Wildlife doesn't tend to do that, though. So we still need to refine more coal.
I'm still having fun roasting giant blue jay brains. Anyway, definitely time to sleep. Good night.
Snooze. Yes, good night. That giant cardinal head is indeed about to be processed. Are you having fun socialising on your own there? I mean, I think that is officially a meeting area. It's part of our Farmers Guild, which only has one member. Farmers Guild Hall, rather, of which the guild only has one member. Which is not the best of places for socialising, but still. Have we finally reached the point where we're not making any more cloaks? Excellent, possibly. We actually have an adequacy of cloaks and hoods. So no one should be wearing a worn out cloak or a worn out hood anymore. And so if we spot people who are unhappy due to their clothes being worn out, we should see what extra items we need to get them, need to make for them. You appear to be trying to acquire some more clothes. You do appear to have suffered a major injury lately, which is probably not good. I mean, I think you are just in the lardy larks, aren't you? So you're not going to actually get into fights gratuitously. You've picked up a rather worn vest. Do I need to put vests on the list of things that we start making? We have some tribute. It's presumably now autumn, yes. Everyone has changed roles. Someone is stumbling around obliviously. I think there might be something wrong with your lungs as well, given that occasional flicking into winded state. Not sure it's a good idea trying to put dressings on directly onto someone's lungs, but whatever. Ooh, right. Well, I think I should not try to deal with the parley tonight. So I think it's probably time to save and stop. And if we wonder if I save it here, do you think that dialogue box will still be there when we come back? Okay, I can't press escape at this point. Oh, that's rather alarming. They've arrived by the wrong route. They've turned up here rather than here. We don't expect that. They also appear to have brought... that's interesting. A human mace man who used to be a member of the human civilization, the Kingdoms of Tin, but now appears to have joined the Terrors of Assault and is a citizen of the failed dungeons. Possibly having been imprisoned by the Things of Tin. I think our patrols may be about to have some fun. But that is a matter for later, I think. I think I should not attempt this now. Oh, of course, except that they're seeking a parley at the moment, so that my patrol will not immediately attack. Right, well, we'll come back to that next time when we will go, oh, I'm in the middle of a siege. Well, at the start of a siege. So until then, I think I should say good night with slight trepidation. Good night.